The paper hit my kitchen counter like a threat. "Cover my daughter's college," Ryan said, tossing it down. His tone wasn't a request. It was a command wrapped in a smile. 15 grand. Tuition, laptop, meal plan. You can handle that, right? He leaned back in my chair, legs crossed, like my home was just another asset with his name on it. I stared at him, at the man who shared my blood but not my backbone, and felt the same ache I'd been swallowing for years. Dependable Sam, that's what they called me. The family fixer, the quiet one who handled the mess so everyone else could play innocent. But that day, something in me shifted. I said, flatly, "Not happening." He laughed, the way you laugh when a dog barks at thunder. Then he stood, slow, smug. "After Christmas dinner," he said, "you'll change your mind." He didn't realize I'd already changed everything. 2 nights later, I walked past Dad's study, the smell of his cigar lingering in the hall, and heard Ryan's voice again. "Don't worry," he said softly. "After Christmas dinner, he'll pay." Dad's reply came like ice breaking. "He always does." Those words. He always does. Like my role in this family was pre-written. Not son, not brother, not man. Just a walking wallet. I didn't move. I didn't interrupt. I just stood there, in the dark hallway, staring at the cracks in the doorframe, and feeling something colder than anger settle inside me. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay awake, staring at the feeling, replaying every favor, every bill, every sacrifice that had been branded as love. I remembered being the kid who fixed things. Broken bikes, broken budgets, broken promises. While Ryan was out winning trophies, I was the one gluing the family back together behind the scenes. When Dad's investments tanked, I paid Mom's grocery bills. When Ryan broke his leg, I covered hospital fees. When tuition came for his daughter, I co-signed loans because family helps family. But help had turned into expectation, and expectation had turned into ownership. Every Christmas, my kids got socks. His daughter got iPads. Every dinner ended with Dad's eyes on me when the check came. His smirk saying, "You know your role." I did. Until that bill landed on my table, until that conversation turned me from family to finance. That's when I stopped being dependable. I didn't yell, didn't accuse, didn't warn. I planned. For 2 weeks, I smiled through calls and played the role they wrote for me. "See you at dinner," I'd say. "Yeah, I'll bring dessert." Every yes was a step toward the final no. While they rehearsed their holiday act, I rewrote the script. First, I canceled the catering. Then, I returned the rented tables. Then I sold back the wine order they'd bragged about. Each refund email was a quiet revolution. And the final move, the real one, happened at the bank. For years, my accounts had been the family's lifeline. Dad's car? Paid automatically. Mom's utilities? Covered. Ryan's mortgage? Chipped in monthly. It was all hidden under autopay, tiny lines on statements no one read. So I killed the autopilot. One by one, I cut every link, closed accounts, revoked access. The vault door slammed shut. And this time, I had the key. December 25th arrived. Snow brushed across the driveway. I watched their cars pull in. Dad's polished SUV, Ryan's family van, the whole performance arriving on schedule. They walked up the porch steps dressed like they were entering a holiday movie set. Ryan held a bottle of wine. Dad carried that expectant grin that said, "We own this moment." Except the house was dark. No lights, no tree, no dinner aroma curling through the air. Just me, standing at the doorway, calm as a winter storm. Dad frowned. "Sam, what is this?" I handed each of them a P. Inside were copies of everything. Account closures, auto-pay cancellations, legal removals of my name from every shared expense, every loan, every quiet financial vein that kept them alive. Ryan's smirk cracked first. "What the hell is this?" I looked him in the eye. "It's freedom." They laughed, because denial always laughs first. But then came the silence, sharp, heavy, and terrifying, when realization landed. Dad's voice broke it. "How could you do this?" "We depend on you." "Exactly," I said. "And you never once asked if I wanted that." Ryan slammed his envelope on the counter. "You're screwing us over for what? To make a point? I stepped closer, my voice low and even. Not to make a point. To win the game. Then I told them what I'd heard. The hallway conversation. The plan. After Christmas dinner, he'll pay. Their faces went pale. They tried to deny it, but the truth was in their hands. Black ink on white paper. They shouted. They begged. They called me ungrateful. Dad's voice cracked between anger and fear. Mom tried guilt. This isn't you, Sam. You're kind. You're family. I looked at her and said quietly, kind doesn't mean blind. They weren't crying because of the money. They were crying because control had finally changed hands. I didn't slam the door. I just closed it slowly, their voices fading into winter air. Inside, my kids sat on the couch, wide-eyed. Their gifts were simple this year. Books, board games, matching sweaters. And yet, their laughter felt real. No manipulation. No weight of obligation. For the first time in years, Christmas felt clean. That night, my phone lit up. Calls, texts, guilt-laced messages. How could you abandon us? We're family. You'll regret this. I turned it off. Because here's the truth. The chains they forged weren't theirs to break. They were mine, and I finally walked away. Weeks passed. The silence that followed wasn't they built their comfort on my compliance. And now without it, they were finally seeing themselves. One evening, Mia, Ryan's daughter, sent me a photo. Her first day at college. She'd made it without me. The caption said, "Thanks, Uncle Sam." I stared at it for a long time. Then I smiled, not because she thanked me, but because she didn't need to. People ask me sometimes, wasn't that revenge? No, revenge is what they expected. Shouting, chaos, drama. What I did was quieter, sharper. It wasn't about payback. It was about power, about peace. They called me the provider, the caretaker, the one who always covered. But that day, they learned something new. I'm not their wallet. I'm the reckoning.